I think Norman Rockwell provided probably the archetypal images of Santa Claus for the whole of the 20th century. This one, there are two hanging here together, and this one is very different in the same way as The Party After the Party, because it's a complete painting, and there's the same reason. This is an advertisement, and so it needs to sell something. In this case, Western Union newspapers. But the image of Santa is an extraordinary piece of realist painting. Obviously, it's meant to sell something, but nonetheless, a close look at this painting reveals that Rockwell has been looking at 17th century Dutch art. This reminds me very much of Gerrit Dou, Rembrandt's first pupil. And Dou created a style of painting that was characterized by incredible detail. And if we look at the pliers, if you look at the paint pot, if you look at the toy itself there, they're incredibly detailed and beautifully painted. This is a very good oil painting. We must never forget that Rockwell was an illustrator, but he was a very good painter as well. And what I love about this image is the innocent delight that Santa is taking in his own toy that he's constructed. That's the point, that's the selling point for this image. That's why it would be a successful advertisement. You can't help loving Santa. This is rather different. The style is obviously different. It's done only 7 years later. And the difference is not actually in purpose, because this is an advertisement too, but for where it was in. The other Santa was for a local newspaper. This is, again, for the Saturday Evening Post. And the Saturday Evening Post had a kind of standard image, a brand image. What he's selling, again, I'll tell you in a minute. But the image here leaves space for a greeting of some kind. And it's a simpler joke. The white background is classic Saturday Evening Post. Santa is adorable, of course. He has a shade over his eyes, like a newspaper man. And what he's actually doing here is checking up the numbers of good girls and boys for present-giving purposes. And the joke here is, of course, that the girls seem to be doing rather better than the boys at this point. Good girls seem to be more obvious than good boys. What this is selling, however, Parker pens.